Welcome to Human Suffering Simulator. We play as the respectable manager of an idol group that consists of underages and preteens. Unfortunately for them, like the labor laws of Ghana, it is entirely legal to exploit children. But instead of farming cocoa for our favorite company Nestle, we seek to cultivate the admiration of our audience even if we appeal to the lowest common denominator of Reddit users and Discord moderators. Embark on a lengthy journey to dominate the Japanese idol market and become the sole provider of entertainment in Japanese media. In our adventure, we will conduct tens of concerts, release hundreds of singles, prevent thousands of suicides, and commit tens of thousands of human rights violations upon our beautiful, charming, and harassed idol girls. For this is Idol Manager, and your soul is now mine forever. The first step you must take in Idol Manager is to avoid the Steam Workshop at all costs. You will only find hopelessness there. After you finish bleaching your eyes of the filth, we can finally start the game. When hitting free play, you will be given a choice, male hentai pro tag or female hentai pro tag. Then enter your full name so the CIA can track you and eventually raid your house. Finally, enter your idol group's name. It can be something exotic or something more common. Welcome to your headquarters. It is a tight, crappy, and damp piece of shit that costs $50,000 a month in rent. Clearly, you're not in Tokyo but in New York. Build the facilities needed and hire people to staff those facilities for a rudimentary start to your career. Meet Fujimoto, essentially our landlord and our first investor. In the early game, we can go to him for loans with zero interest, essentially giving us free money. What a generous donation. We'll go back to him later. As of now, we need to acquire the most important part of this industry, the idols. Through sending out applications, we get a wide range of beautiful girls from ages 12 to 29 years old. These girls have their needs and moods. They can also develop friendships with one another or just straight up bully a member of the group, ganging up on them like on a typical British street. Idols have physical and mental needs, and you can restore them in a medical room with either a physical doctor or a mental doctor. But what kind of a manager are you to care about the well-being of your assets, Speaking of girls, they each have unique personalities and stats that affect their performance in our group. Some girls are cute, some women are smart. The stats of your girls determine your audience. Building up a specific audience is key to reaching success since you can't appeal to everyone. The genre and type of music you produce also matter in building the right audience. While the girls are the biggest appeal, if the song they sing doesn't correspond to your audience's taste, you'll get shitted on. There's also stuff like brand deals, photo shoots, and advertisements to promote your brand and as another source of income. This is essentially the gameplay of Idol Manager. It's not very complex and it's not very intuitive, but it's dumb fun. In this mode, your goal is to become as big as possible, contributing 15% to the Japanese GDP, then influence the Japanese diet to lower the age of consent to 10 years old. You may be surprised to learn that this game has a story. And yes, it does have a story. A concerningly fleshed out one. I won't cover it in its entirety because the story is not essential to the gameplay experience, but it's certainly something to check out. There are three main paths to the story: the Fujimoto route, the rival route, and the power of the free press route. The lore has you working to become the performing idol group in this huge international sports game, practically the Olympics. In the Fujimoto route, you lend him around 7 million yen so you can listen to his sad sob story about gangs, involuntary intercourse, forced pregnancy, and eventual adoption.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
You see, Fujimoto was a loan shark, and when the Japanese economic miracle wore off and the housing bubble popped, Fujimoto took loans from other people. This led him to get entangled with the big boys of the red light districts of Japan, and one of his workers, a woman, volunteered to be sacrificed to get him off scot-free. This is where the, happened. Now, why has he invented in our idol group then? Fujimoto wanted to come clean of the dark past he had lived, and become an ordinary, law-abiding citizen. Basically, you help him with his redemption arc. Oh, surprise, surprise! Your very rival is actually the child that Fujimoto adopted from the worker that volunteered to help him, and there's one big group hug and wounds begin to heal. The rival route basically has you work with your rival at the end of the game. It's quite weird how, after the entire game going against them, at the end of it all, you sacrifice everything to work together with your rival who, let me tell you, is an absolute asshole. A cutthroat businessman capitalist that would stop at nothing to further their profits and ideals, sabotage on several accounts, and furthermore, steals one of your idol girls to be a part of their Blue Man group. This route speaks of stuff like human desire, the perfect idol, etc, etc. Very mystical in my opinion, and probably the worst ending. The power of the free press route is the most mediocre of them all. You team up with this random reporter, and while making the script, I don't even remember what her motives are. At the end of it, you just work with her, I guess. Idol Manager is a game that's somehow very true to life and reflects greatly upon the real-life idol industry of Japan. It is a tense business with even worse working environments, but that's what makes it fun. Building up your own idol group with its own nuances while juggling your idol's health and needs, your finances, and your publicity. It's a relatively short game that's pretty fun, not that complex, and you can get into it within a few minutes. Its story is more like a free DLC, not essential to the gameplay of the game, but is a sweet addition nonetheless. Overall, I rate this game 8 out of 10. A cool game with cool gameplay with a story that's quite well written with characters that you can't forget easily. To be completely honest with you, I teared up a little in Fujimoto's route, so I recommend this game to everyone watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed my insane ramblings. I'll see you all next time.